Next summer, the world's best gymnasts will be in Paris with Olympic medals on the line. Today, America's best are in San Jose going for national titles, including the best in the sport. Simone Biles back in the spotlight at nationals again, aiming to win a record-breaking 8th U.S. title. Behind Biles after night one is Calif Jones, coming off a second-place finish at this event last year and looking to keep herself among the top contenders. Plus, 3 more returning Olympians, including reigning Olympic all-around champ Suni Lee, hoping to prove they're still the ones to watch on the road to Paris. It starts here at the National Championships today in San Jose. NBC Sports welcomes you to the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Another gorgeous day here on the West Coast, the Bay Area of California. And we're just about an hour from San Francisco here in San Jose, inside the SAP Center where the Sharks of the NHL normally play. This week, though, all about gymnastics and the best in the country and many of the best in the world competing for national titles. And that will be decided today, day 2 of the competition. After night 1, Simone Biles, terrific. 59.3. There's the lead, 2.5 points or so over Calif Jones. Sky Blakely right there, Leanne Wong and Jordan Childs rounding out the top 5. So many of these names have been to the World Championships and yes, the Olympics as well. A lot of people here too to watch this. Glad to have you along. Terry Gannon alongside Sam Petchik, part of that 2008 Olympic silver medal team for the U.S. Just honored a short time ago. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Very nice. It was great watching you guys watch yourselves up in the highlights from 2008. Hey, let's talk Simone Biles. The comeback when it was announced, so much anticipation and excitement. We saw her compete just a few weeks ago in the Chicago area. We saw her on night 1. I mean, I don't know what she's sensational again.
It's incredible. I mean, a lot of people questioned whether she would be just as good as she was in the last quad. And I think the last 2 competitions have proven that she might not even be just as good. She might be better. She does a vault that no other woman in the entire world can do. And she's winning the all-around by 2.5 points.
Pretty impressive. But it's against a field, even more impressive because it's against a field. I mentioned so many have been to the Worlds and the Olympics and have medaled there.
Yeah, it's not easy. Check this out. 58 world and Olympic medals from athletes that have been in this competition right here. Everybody is vying for these future spots, both World Championships, Olympic Games, and right now, of course, the national team. And
a lot to be said in terms of that World Championship team taking place right here today. So Simone Biles will open up on vault. That'll be the first of 4 rotations here. And obviously sensational on vault, making so many headlines. With that lead, 2.5 points or so, there it is. But then those other names right there, Sky Blakely, Leanne Wong, Jordan Childs, very much in the mix, not only for the podium here, but also to make the World Championship team. And there is a World Selection Camp that will take place to decide those names.
There's a lot on the line, Terry, and not to mention they're really proving to the selection committee that they have the confidence and the consistency to last in a long weekend.
She's the best in the world and back in a big way. Simone Biles starting on vault.
That's called a chung vault. She did that on night 1, but we're just going to see her do this vault here in tonight's competition. She nearly stuck the vault on night 1, has stung her ankles just a bit. You see the tape on her ankles here that wasn't there on night 1. They're playing it safe, and of course you would. It's Simone Biles, and she's just as good with this vault.
Sam, going for a record 8th U.S. all-around title. Just continues to amaze in every one of the events, but especially right here.
That's really what she's known for. She is pushing the boundaries, and you can check it out from her hand placement on the vault table. She is so meticulous when she goes to wrap her arms into twist, and she's like a cat. She lands every single time in perfect position.
So the leader after night 1 of these national championships, those scores carry over to day 2. And Simone adding to her total. 9.25 for execution. 14.85 is the number for Simone Biles as we are underway in San Jose. So Jordan Childs coming up next in 5th place after the opening night. The 22-year-old from Vancouver, Washington, a Tokyo Olympic silver medalist in the team event. She was a big part of that effort.
She's an athlete that came from the NCAA season, hoping to get confidence here, competing back on the elite scene, getting her feet wet.
Start at UCLA, and it is different, the college ranks to the elite scene and some of the skills.
Yeah, they're adding a lot more difficulty here, which, you know, she's competing and gaining confidence under pressure, but you can't replace repetitions in the gym with skills like this. It's a Yurchenko double full. Nice job, big hop back on the landing, but good body position in the air. Check it out one more time. Check her hip placements are completely flat. Arms are in the right place. It's a job well done.
Come on, Ed! Come on, Zoe! Come on, Addie!
Listening as much as we can, because Jordan will entertain us when she's not out there competing.
She's one of the most entertaining athletes in the world. Just always dancing, smiling. That's how she does the best. That's what she told me.
Part of that group of athletes that train Spring, Texas, Laurent, and Cecile Landy, the coaches, who also coach Simone Biles, and a close group. Really support each other. All right, meanwhile, Caitlin Jong, the 17-year-old from Texas, was 9th in the all-around at the U.S. Championships last year. She won the junior all-around back in 2021, in 9th going into day 2. Up on balance beam.
You know, it's athletes like Caitlin that are a little bit younger, not as an experience, but they're still doing big, difficult skills like that tuck full with no problems. Looks like she got ahead of herself. We say that a lot in the gymnastics world. When you're a little nervous, you rush your skills, and sometimes it oftentimes it results in a mistake. So the big test for her now is, can she keep it just one mistake? You do not want to make that contagious and turning it into more mistakes throughout this routine. It's important to note that all of the equipment is on podium, so that really affects the balance beam, and they have to absorb the beam even more, because otherwise it's going to be a bit bouncier than the beams they practice on and maybe throw them off.
Spend a lot of time in podium training once you're here early in the week just to get used to that.
That's why it's important to adjust, and she did a nice job coming back from that fall.
12.45. So we've got green, which is excellent, yellow, which is safe, and then red, which you don't want to be in the red. 12.45, the overall number with a 6.85 execution. There you go. And all based on recent high-level competitions. So just to give you an idea of where you want to be with the numbers.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some mistakes like we saw with Caitlin affect both the difficulty score and the execution score.
Caitlin, who committed to Auburn. She'll begin attending in the fall of 2024. How about the number for Jordan Childs?
9.25 on execution. That's what I'm seeing is a really great number. They didn't ding her too much on the landing, and really as expected with this consistent athlete.
Yeah, a little less than she got on night 1. Leah Lincoln next. 17-year-old from Frisco, Texas, getting set on floor and just outside the top 5 in 6th place coming into day 2. First season as a senior elite gymnast.
And this is an athlete I've been really impressed with, Terry. When you watch her tumbling, it's going to look so effortless. is a double-double to start things off. Out of bounds there. 1/10 deduction. And that's a new skill for her. Double layout, fold out. Obviously incredible tumbling, but a big deduction that these judges are looking for is artistry. And when I spoke to Calif, she said it's actually out of my comfort zone, but my coaches have been helping me work on this every single day. They said, if you don't go full out, then you look crazy.
An emphasis on that, even more so these days?
There really is. There's so many categories within artistry that the judges are now looking for. Eye contact, elongation, and really they want to see a complete performance, which sounds easy, but when you include tumbling, it makes it very difficult.
All right, how about Charlize Jones, one of the top names here, in second after the opening night, the 21-year-old from Seattle, coming back from injury and up on beam.
She had a really great day on night one. Nice Arabian to get things going, but this is the event where she's hoping to see improvement. I want to see a little bit more stability, landing with a little bit more confidence on all these skills. You know, Terry, there is a little bit of an advantage competing on night two because you've already done it one time in front of the crowd, in front of these judges. So we're hoping to see improvement in terms of the wobbles here on this event.
In terms of the competition, so has everyone else.
Yeah. She's moving through this nicely. It's not a perfect routine, but I'm seeing those small little adjustments in her skills, and that's the mark of a veteran. Finishing back handspring, double pike, and that should be a better number than it was on night one.
14.3, the number. How about the execution number here?
8.3, what an improvement from night one. She got a 7.65 on that execution. So that's what the goal is here, of course, to do the best you can, but really to see an improvement from night one to night two.
Big improvement. Lincoln, the number for floor exercise, 14.05. That is in green there. So we are underway here. Simone Biles starting on vault, and it is day two of the National Championships. Back here in San Jose, it is day two of the competition for the women here at the National Championships. Terry Gannon, Sam Pescic, and John Roethlisberger, the four-time U.S. all-around champ, as we join John now.
Hey guys, he kind of talked about it a little bit in the last segment, collegiate gymnastics. You know, historically, going on to compete collegiately has generally meant an end to elite careers, but that trend in the last couple of years has been blown up. Just at this competition, there are 5 big names that just participated in the most recent collegiate season. Kayla DiCello, world all-around medalist. She competed for the University of Florida. Jay Carey, Olympic champion, competed for Oregon State. Olympic silver medalist Jordan Childs competed for UCLA, and fellow Gator Leanne Wong competed for Florida along with Kayla DiCello. Suni Lee, the Olympic all-around champion, competed for Auburn. But they're not all doing it the same. Kayla, Jordan, and Suni have all left their universities to resume training with their elite coaches, while Leanne and Jade have decided to continue to train at their universities. Regardless, it seems that collegiate gymnastics and elite gymnastics are more intertwined than ever.
And it's really changed the way you look at it as an athlete and what's possible now and going back from college to elite.
Yeah, it's really unheard of. I did both college and elite gymnastics, and I can't paint the picture enough how difficult that transition is. It's a long NCAA season, and then to go start training elite skills, a lot more difficulty, a lot more intensity. I mean, these athletes are incredible.
And so many have world championship and Olympic experience and collegiate experience now. And back trying to make that Olympic team once again. It's got a feeling in here tonight, doesn't it? With the crowd and everything.
Everyone knows just how phenomenal these athletes are. They got big names, but there's also a lot of young athletes here that are throwing big, exciting skills for the France.
So 3 more events for Simone Biles. Anytime her image goes up on the big screen, there's a reaction from the crowd. Up next on the floor will be Kayla DiCello, one of those athletes that John just talked about. So each of the rotations, you get the first section with 4 gymnasts, and then 30-second little warm-up, and then set to go again. DiCello, the 19-year-old from Maryland.
She's one of the athletes that the selection committee said has improved significantly just in a few weeks since we saw her at Classics. She's upgraded her routines and just the confidence that she carries. They're seeing a big change there.
She was good on this. Night 1, 2, 4th best overall.
Opens double-double. That's a new skill since her NCAA season. Really nice finish. Even though she hasn't necessarily had the elite training, you can see the endurance is there, and that's what the selection committee is looking for.
Won the junior title, the all-around title, a few years ago, 4th in the all-around last year, and back to 2021 was world all-around bronze medalist, Kayla DiCello. Take you over to vault right now, and Jocelyn Robertson, which is a name that you're really getting to know now. Only 17 years of age, Texarkana, Texas, trains in Spring, Texas with the Landys. Simone Biles there every day and has been terrific recently.
Well, let's paint the picture. Simone is obviously incredible, does insanely hard vaults. Jocelyn does the same vault as Simone, a chung vault. It was new for her at Classics. She performed it very well, so this is just adding confidence to her belt.
A Core Hydration Classic in Chicago area just a few weeks ago. And she was third in the all-around there, which was won by Simone Biles.
This vault is more than just about an all-around championship here at the national championship. This vault for her is her ticket to the world championships. And honestly, as you look forward to next summer, this could be her ticket to the Olympic Games. As much as you look at all 4 events, for a lot of these athletes, we'll talk about that throughout the competition, she has got to nail this to get the attention of the selection committee.
Well, she's done a nice job so far. This is important.
How about that?
Just as good, if not better, than night 1.
Best one I've ever seen her do. Honestly, that was amazing.
She's a younger athlete, maybe doesn't have as much international experience as some of the athletes here, and she's making a name for herself. Everybody's heads are turned because of Jocelyn.
All right, meanwhile on floor, Sky Blakely, the 18-year-old from Frisco, Texas. Trying to build on that 3rd place position after night 1.
And this is the event to help her do so. It was her lowest scoring event. She had 1 out of bounds. Looking to see a little bit better here tonight. Fortunately, starting with a fall, the point deduction. And an out of bounds 1/10 there. Getting hit with the out of bounds and the landings there, but when I spoke to her, she said, if I do mess up, I'm going to be mad, which is normal for athletes. Terry, you know that, but she tries to find little things that she does well because she really is rational and doesn't believe she'll ever have a perfect meet.
Because I messed up a lot? Is that why you directed that toward me? Is that what you're saying? No.
You as a high-level athlete.
I got you. How about Jocelyn Robertson there for vault 14.45? Kayla DiCiano for floor, 13.75 the number. Meanwhile, over on bars, Jade Carey, the 23-year-old from Phoenix, a star at Oregon State now, and the Olympic gold medalist on floor, needs a good second day of competition. Struggled a bit on night 1, Sam.
Yeah, she did. It really was uncharacteristic, honestly. It looked like 1 mistake turned into 2, but I've had competitions that did not go my way, and sometimes you just need a good night of sleep and start all over, and that's the opportunity she has here today.
You know, there's another part to this for Jade Carey, though. I talked to her dad, Brian, before the competition, and she had a pretty big crash. And Sam, you can point out the skill in training, and she landed very awkwardly and actually lost some feeling in her arm, and she's been battling that really the last couple days. It affects her when she pushes down, even on cast handstands like that. So her dad wasn't sure if she'd compete, but here she is gutting it out.
She's starting off well, good rhythm in her swing here. Vertical handstands, that's something that we're looking for. Great save on that catch. You know, she fought through that routine.
Yeah, she didn't do the ganger between the bars, which she had that crash on, Sam. I think you were about to say that.
Yeah, she didn't do the difficult skill, and sometimes it's about taking away some difficulty and regaining that competitive confidence, and looks like that's the strategy they had there.
Pretty smart start to night two, to day two here.
And you already see her smiling, which is a positive change.
Certainly got used to that in Tokyo at the Olympics. Scott Blakely, the reaction for a 12-2 number for floor. Those penalties.
Yeah, she had 3 out of bounds and, of course, a fall on that first pass. And this is the event she did not do at Classics, so chances are she just needs more repetition in the gym.
Leanne Wong, the 19-year-old from Overland Park, Kansas. A moment ago, up on balance beam. And in the top 5 after the opening night, in 4th.
She is just a beautiful athlete, one of the best to watch on this event. You see, she broke that connection, so unfortunately that will affect her difficulty score, but minimize the execution deductions that would have been taken. What makes her unique to watch is her posture. She is so straight on the beam. Her arms are in perfect positions on all of her skills, and it really helps her make her beam more effortless looking. Slow connection there. It will be interesting to see if the judges honor that connection. Finishing 2.5 twist, and she's all smiles.
World Championship experience there too. World all-around silver medal back in 2021. Got her number, and uneven bars for Jade Carey. 13-5. Continue here. The opening rotation of day 2. Simone Biles opened this day up on vault. We are inside the SAP Center here in San Jose, California. It is the National Championships. Yes, Simone Biles back in action, made that announcement and then the appearance in competition just a few weeks ago. She was absolutely sensational, and she has brought it here to San Jose. The leader after the opening night by 2.5 points ahead of Charlize Jones, Sky Blakely, Leanne Wong, and Jordan Childs. Many world medalists and Olympians, Olympic medalists as well, in action here. Spots on the World Championship team, and of course the all-around title too. And we start with the headliner. She's the best in the world, and back in a big way. Simone Biles starting on vault.
That's called a chung vault. She did that on night 1, but we are just going to see her do this vault here in tonight's competition. She nearly stuck the vault on night 1, has stung her ankles just a bit. You see the tape on her ankles here that wasn't there on night 1. They're playing it safe, and of course she would. It's Simone Biles, and she's just as good with this vault.
Sam, going for a record 8th U.S. all-around title. Just continues to amaze in every one of the events, but especially right here.
That's really what she's known for. She is pushing the boundaries, and you can check it out from her hand placement on the vault table. She is so meticulous when she goes to wrap her arms into twist, and she's like a cat. She lands every single time in perfect position.
So the leader after night 1 of these national championships, those scores carry over to day 2. And Simone adding to her total. 9.25 for execution. 14.85 is the number for Simone Biles as we are underway in San Jose. NBC Sports welcomes you to the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships. What a gorgeous day once again here on the West Coast. Beautiful look down in the Bay Area in San Francisco. Just about an hour from there, 50 miles southeast here in San Jose. Sharks normally play here. This week it is all about the best gymnasts in America, and many of them are the best in the world. Simone Biles now through the opening rotation here and the 4 on night one, 74.15. So she's extended that lead. It's over 3 points. Charlize Jones still in second. Leanne Wong, Jordan Childs, and Kalia Lincoln now rounding out the top 5. Thrilled to have you along. Terry Gannon alongside Sam Petchik, part of that 2008 Olympic silver medal team for the U.S., a world champion as well.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, congratulations on that again. Simone just continues to amaze us. She did it on night one. She did it a few weeks ago. And now here with that vault. But the opening night vault was even more difficult.
It really was. It's a Yurchenko double pike. And guess what, Terry? No one other woman in the world does this vault. That's how difficult it is. Look how high she gets. It's incredible. And she nearly stuck the landing to score an execution of a 9.8 out of a 10.0.
Yeah, a little difficulty on the landing the other night. Maybe not an injury, but just taped the ankle tonight and decided to play it a little safer. So maybe a smart decision for her at this point.
It definitely is. She doesn't need the experience, and she's proving that she has the difficulty and she has the execution, which makes it a double whammy.
Also with us, the 4-time U.S. all-around champ, John Roethlisberger. And John, it's not just about Simone Biles. What a field we have here in San Jose.
It's absolutely incredible, Terry. One of the most impressive fields in the history of the USA Championships. 58 world and Olympic medals have been won by the athletes competing here tonight. 4 different women have won all-around medals, the most recent by Charlize Jones at the last World Championships when she won silver. And for the first time in history, we have 2 Olympic all-around champions competing at this floor at the same time, Simone Biles and Suni Lee. And we have heard also there might be a third one added to the mix in this coming year. 2012 Olympic all-around champion Gabby Douglas is apparently training as well. But guys, 58 world and Olympic medals. If that's not impressive enough, if you add all of my world and Olympic medals to that total, we've got 58 world and Olympic medals, guys. This field's impressive.
You know, that's really impressive, John. Thanks for doing the math on that. But it might be the most accomplished field that we've had at the U.S. Championships.
Well, it's just incredible. I mean, I am many years from my Olympic run, and it's inspiring me to want to get back in the gym and train. Whew.
I'm taking that in. Really? Come back? Really?
Oh, I'll talk to you next week about my training. Honored
before the action today with that 2008 Olympic silver medal team, which was very cool, especially when you guys were watching the highlights up there and the playback and together watching it.
It almost feels like a different world, and you put yourself in the mind of what these athletes are going through right now, and they are so in it. You're focused. You spend so much time in the gym training, and this is the fun part, the intensity. Saluting and doing your best. I mean, it's the best feeling in the world, Terry.
Kalia Lincoln, the 17-year-old from Frisco, Texas, here in rotation 2. So 4 rotations today and 4, of course, on opening night. And going to start over on vault. Simone Biles will be on uneven bars here in rotation 2. By the way, a packed house, too. There are some people here.
It's electric in the house. Everyone is getting excited. You know, Terry, I don't know if you've heard, but it's the year before the Olympics, so this is about the time people are amped up.
Wait, already? Really?
Yes.
Okay. And you want to be on that World Championship team going into an Olympic year.
You do. It's really important to gain that experience. And the reason why that is so important in comparison to a championships, it's longer. There's more competition, so the longevity and the mental toughness and stamina are just incredibly increased that mimic the Olympic Games.
So Kalia moved from 6th to 5th in that opening rotation overall. Top 5.
Doing a Yurchenko double full here. Not quite as solid of a landing as she did on night one, but great height off the table.
get that score in just a moment, but we take you over the floor right now. Nola Matthews. The excitement as of late and the confidence coming in, too, for a 16-year-old from Gilroy, California, right down the road from where we are in San Jose. In fact, born in San Jose.
Now I want you to check out the artistry. It is one of the best in the competition. Her expressiveness, it really makes her stand out. Another out of bounds, 1/10 there. You're noticing an eeriness or creepiness to her floor routine. That's the goal. She is trying to stare the judges down. Eye contact is key for her.
Yeah, there is a theme to this floor routine.
Listen, she doesn't quite have the difficulty on this event that some athletes in the competition do, but she could write a book on performance quality. Phenomenal.
More and more importance given to that, too, that overall performance out there. Hugs all around. How about the number 4, Cleo Lincoln, 13.9. So in yellow, we've got green is excellent, yellow is safe, and red is not where you want to be in terms of the numbers. Just to give you, based on recent competitions, a general idea. All right, Zoe Miller getting set on uneven bars. The 17-year-old, this really is a big routine coming up, John.
Yeah, absolutely. This is like for a lot of athletes, Jocelyn Robertson, who we were going to talk about a lot, her floor involved. This for Zoe Miller is the whole ball of wax, if you will. She's got to hit this bar routine. This is where she really jumps up in the standings. And Team USA needs a big bar routine, and this could be it.
I had a chance to speak with her coach right there, Laurent Landy, before the meet and asked him what happened. He said she struggled. She's been hitting it well in practice. She's normally a gamer, so the key for her is just to get out of her own way. It's looking nice. She's already passed the mistake she had on night 1. Good double layup, and that's the improvement she was hoping to see here. Job well done. Coaches say that she was really mad. They were hoping that it motivated her, and I think it had that effect.
That's the reaction you want, right? Going into day 2.
Sometimes you need a little fire lit in your belly there.
Cecile and Laurent Landy, her coaches, also the coaches of Simone Biles and a number of the top-level gymnasts who are here. Close-knit group. Nola Matthews on floor exercise 13.2. And a penalty for stepping out. So the teenager from nearby Gilroy, her second event of the night. Still to come, Suni Lee, Olympic all-around champ. First time we've ever had 2 all-around Olympic champs in the same U.S. championships. The 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships are brought to you by Core Hydration. Core Hydration believes that wellness is whatever works for you. Find your balance, find your core. By Prevagen. By Angie. Visit Angie.com to connect with skilled professionals for all your home projects. And by Xfinity, the Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now. Rotation 2 continues inside the SAP Center. On floor, Leanne Wong, the 19-year-old from Kansas and a 3-time world medalist.
Opens difficult double-double to a perfect stick position. She is on fire. And now check out this artistry. We talked about it on beam, and she carries it over to this event here. Finishing double pike, nailed 3 of the 4 landings, just incredible.
Listen to this crowd too. Competes for the University of Florida, helped the U.S. team win yet another world championship, 6 straight. That's how dominant the U.S. women have been.
Incredible. She had a full NCAA season. You can't tell that she's brand new back into the collegiate scene. Hugs from her head coach, Jenny Rowland, and her club coach, Al Fong and Armane were right there too. It's a team effort, really, Terry.
Moved up already in the opening rotation to 3rd overall. We'll get the number in a moment. Zoe Miller, 14.3. The number for uneven bars. Break that down a little, John.
Yeah, I'm starting to think you guys don't like me. You make me explain scoring. It's like when my mom made me eat vegetables at the dinner table. But I'm going to try to do this as simplistically as possible. Every gymnast, you can see the execution. She had an 8.0 right there. Every gymnast starts at a 10.0 of execution. From that, deductions are taken, steps on landing, falls from the apparatus. What's left for her was an 8.0. Difficulty, that is basically the culmination of the 8 most difficult skills that the gymnast does. Each skill is given a value. You add up the 8 most difficult ones, and that essentially is their difficulty score. There's some other small intricacies, but that is a very simplistic way to look at it. You add those together, and you get her total right there, 14.3. How was that, guys?
You're likable enough, John, okay? So the number in green, just a little bit of a guideline for you. Green is excellent, yellow is safe, red you don't want to be below average, and all of those based on high-level recent competitions. Just a guide. A moment ago on vault, Sky Blakely, the 18-year-old from Frisco, Texas.
Doing a Yurchenko double full, crisp in the air. Nice clean lines, exactly what she wanted to do.
6th in the all-around last year at the U.S. Championships. Yes, it's about the all-around, but also individual apparatus titles on the line here, each of the 4 events. So 14.25, the number still to come in the 2nd rotation. Simone Biles on uneven bars in our first look tonight in competition of Suni Lee. Back to remind you, America's Best take on the rest of the world at the World Gymnastics Championships in Belgium. Beautiful look at Antwerp there, October 14th on NBC. So women trying to make that team. The men's team, by the way, with the men's competition already having taken place here in San Jose, has been named Asher Hong the all-around champ. Paul Judah, Yul Moldauer, Fred Richard, Coy Young. It's a young team. There is some experience there, but very talented. All right, Jordan Childs getting this set to continue here a bit earlier on uneven bars. How about night 1 with her family in attendance, her parents Timothy and Gina? Watch the left side. I mean, they are with every move on bars.
Work it, mama, work it.
Look, I'm a parent who's watched his kids play sports. It is tougher than actually playing. There's no doubt about it. And Jordan never stands still, always moving. Earlier in this rotation, her effort on bars.
She's a true all-around gymnast. She doesn't have the most difficulty on any one event, but really her specialty is consistency. Oh. Wow, that is extremely uncharacteristic. We did not see that on night one.
And now you've got to regroup and come back.
You know, you see her coach Laurent Landy right there, and when I spoke to him before the meet about Jordan, he said she just needs more training. Coming back from the NCAA season, she took a short break, and he said with her specifically, the consistency mentally comes from repetition, which she doesn't have as much of right now. She's doing a nice job really minimizing and perfecting every little detail for the rest of this routine. No one wants to make a mistake, but the positive here is she is going to be upset. It is definitely going to light a fire inside her.
Good finish, tough start. 12.95, the number for the two-time U.S. all-around bronze medalist. Also won a silver at the championships back in 2017. All right, over to Shilese Jones right now, getting ready to go on floor. The 21-year-old from Seattle, coming back from an injury she's been dealing with, but she's overcome much more than that, just to be here on this stage with the support of her family and community in Seattle.
It's pretty cool when she first came in the gym as a young kid.
She was probably 4 years old, and this little thing just walking in with her Finding Nemo backpack every day.
We knew she was talented, and we had a lot of fun training her early on.
I remember when she was maybe 11 or 12 years old, her father bought her a whiteboard. And he said, you know, this is a board that you can put your goals on. And she put on that whiteboard, I am going to the Olympics.
I was the only one here that had made elite, so I didn't really have any older teammates to look up to. So we picked up our whole immediate family and then moved just to pursue gymnastics with my 12-year-old voice saying that I wanted to go train with Olympians. The beginning of January of 2021, I got hit in a car accident. Broken ankle and broken back. It was devastating. I didn't really feel confident in myself, but I wanted to go out there and do the best I could.
It's 10th place for Shilese Jones tonight here at the Tokyo Olympic Trials.
You know, I never really looked at trying for a second time. It was actually my dad. He was like, I'm gonna believe in you that you can go to 2024. And that's kind of when it clicked in, and I was just like, you know what, Dad? Like, I can.
Her dad has dealt with a number of different very serious health issues, and that's a floor routine that she says is dedicated to him.
He had diabetes, so he had a kidney and pancreas transplant because those had both failed. He actually had told me, Shai, I'm not gonna make it. My dad always told me, Seattle's where it's meant to be, you're more comfortable there, that's your home. Unfortunately, it didn't click till after he passed away. I was just like, this is what he wanted for me, and we're gonna take those steps and move back home and pursue the dream.
It was pretty surreal, actually, because we wanted to build a team here so that if we ever had Shilese or a kid like that, that we'd be able to help them reach their ultimate goal.
Dad, he would just be ecstatic. Just say, I knew this all along. I knew this all along, and I'm so proud of you.
It just feels great to be at home and finish it where I started.
Real meaning to everything she does now in competition, dedicates it to her father. Said that time when he was ill and struggling, it was the toughest 6 months of her life, and he was the one who talked her into continuing to compete and trying to push it to the next level. Now she's come back from that and significant injuries too. A car crash back in 2021, a fractured back and foot, now a shoulder injury too, but here she is. And remember the podium last year at the national championship. Shilese Jones, I mentioned, came in second. Connor McClain, the champ, Jordan Childs, and the post by Michelle Obama. The first time ever black women claim the top 3 spots at the USA Gym Championships. Proud of Connor, Shilese, Jordan, making history, showing little black girls everywhere that anything is possible if you work hard and believe in yourself. Significant.
She's one of the most focused athletes that we've been able to talk to, and she was telling us all about her goals, which we just heard started with essentially a vision board. But one of the things that really surprised me was how she set her goals with conviction. And she said, ultimately, I want to be the Olympic champion.
In second place here overall.
It was already an improvement from night 1. She had an out of bounds on the first night, but not tonight. She is locked in.
Major injury to that right shoulder now she's coming back from, and a foot injury, but has been excellent. Okay, so Simone opened up on vault and increased that lead, and now getting set to go on uneven bars.
After night 1, she's ranked 3rd on this event, which is impressive to me because she doesn't have the most amount of difficulty, but her execution really helps her rank high on this event. You can tell her style is quick, it's dynamic. There.
She does just fly through that routine,
though. She does. You can't blink. You can't look away. And I think sometimes we need to watch this bar routine in slow motion because you can't appreciate how difficult when she goes so fast. Here's the slow-mo we're talking about, Terry. So she missed this slightly. You want to see her finish the twist in a vertical handstand. She moved through that position. That was the most significant deduction I saw in this routine. Of course, it's not as much of a fall. It's not that big of a deduction, but when we're talking about Simone Biles, she's a perfectionist and is going to be thinking about that after this routine.
I agree with you on the slow motion replays, by the way, on that and on vault especially, because she is in positions in the air where you wait, can I see that again? Slow it down. I need to see where she is so high off the ground and off the table in vault and then on bars.
It's so tough. I mean, I'm an expert in the sport and I enjoy watching her in slow-mo.
You know, it's funny you mentioned her start value, Sam. Doesn't have quite the start value. Well, just to put that in perspective, she equaled the 2nd highest start value on bars in night 1, which is amazing. Now, there were some mistakes from other athletes which may push her down, but it just kind of puts it in perspective on even her weakness is pretty darn good.
Yep, exactly. And there were a lot of question marks coming into the first competition a few weeks ago and the comeback. And for me, I think those were answered not only in our minds, but in her mind, and just got to work this week. Down to business. Balance beam, and Suni Lee, the all-around Olympic champ, not nearly 100% though, dealing with a kidney illness, with cut short her second season at Auburn, coming back from that, only competing in a few events here, beam involved.
No, unfortunately had a mistake on night one. And I spoke to her coach, Jess Graba, and he said, you know, sometimes it's harder doing only a couple of events because you have to wait and you're a little bit cold. It's tough to practice that. They're hoping for a better turnout here today. Wow. Amazing save. Her foot was completely off the beam and pulled it back on. Another good connection. One of the ingredients to be a really great beam worker is confidence, and I'm going to add in willpower. She is not straight down the center on these skills, but is doing a really good job adjusting so fast on the fly to minimize as many deductions as possible. And a stuck landing, big improvement from night one.
Not one, but two all-around Olympic champs in the field here at the National Championships. Just became an overnight superstar in Tokyo with that win. The 20-year-old from St. Paul, Minnesota. Going to take some time to figure out the medication and what's going on physically, but got to give her credit for what she's done here this week.
Yeah, it's really tough to come back on night two, especially when you're frustrated about your performance. But check this out. This is so impressive to me. She does a front aerial, no problem, into her split jump. But when she goes for her back handspring, her heel, front heel was completely off the beam and was able to save it really nicely.
All right, so on rotation 3 next, the number 4 Simone Biles, just over 14 with the bar routine. Charlize Jones for floor exercise, just over 14 as well, 8-2 for the execution. And we'll check out that number for Suni Lee, her effort on the balance beam as we roll on here. Stay tuned in San Jose, onto the 3rd rotation. Back to tell you, don't forget to get social with the hashtag Xfinity Champs and follow USGymChampionships.com for more information. On to rotation 3 here. It is day 2 inside the SAP Center in San Jose. Terry Gannon, Sam Pescick, and John Roethlisberger. So we check out the standings. Simone Biles, 88.2, just about a 3-point lead over Charlize Jones, Liam Wong there, Scott Blakely, Kalia Lincoln in the top 5 here, midway through. Back here in San Jose, the Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships continue. Terry Gannon alongside Sam Pescick, that Olympic silver, the team back in 2000, world champ in 2007, and John, 3-time Olympian and a 4-time U.S. all-around champ. So John has won this title for the men 4 different times. Rotation 3 is underway. We checked the number for Suni Lee. What do you think? 14.2.
Definitely an improvement. She only got a 7.65 night one on that execution score, so really cleaned it up and showed a really positive change there.
Just 2 of the 4 events that Suni Lee is competing in here at the National Championships, so not a part of the all-around competition. And it is Simone leading the way after the first couple of rotations here. The scores carried over from night one, too. So, John, the other thing we've been talking about, not just the all-around competition, but that world championship team. What do you think?
It's kind of the equivalent of about a 1,000-piece puzzle. And you can't just look at all-around standing. So we're looking right here at the top 4 gymnasts on each event. We're going to assume Simone Biles is on that world team. She will be there. But now you got to look at who else jumps up on individual events. You can see some of these names. Shilese Jones comes up 3 times. That bodes really well for her. Sky Blakely's in there a few times. If your name is not in that mix, if you're not in the top 4 or 5, you need to start to worry if you're going to want to make that world championship team. And it's something, again, to keep in mind as you're watching the competition. It's not just about all-around standings. Leanne Wong, for example, 4th all-around. She only jumps in there 1 time. And the reason the top 3 are so important is the team finals at the World Championships and the Olympic Games is 3 athletes go up and 3 scores count. So you don't care how good your 4th and 5th athlete are. You want to make sure those top 3 are lights out.
No doubt. But I will say, Suni Lee and Jade Carey, there is some consideration there because you're Olympic champions.
And that's a very good point, because they can take, probably going to take, I was told, about 18 people to the World Selection Camp. 10 of those will be national team members. They can add a few national team members depending on weaknesses of the team, and then they can add on top of that. So Suni Lee would certainly fall into that category. They need a bar team. Who's going to do it, right?
Man, we could argue about this world championship team till we're blue in the face, but really we can all agree we do not want to be the selection committee this time around.
But Leanne Wong, important a moment ago on vault.
Yurchenko double full. Little pike down on the landing there, but sells it well. I think it's probably all of those competitions in college. It's called a college stick.
So Leanne Wong in 3rd overall, Sky Blakely in 4th overall, and this now on uneven bars.
Nice release move, good handstand positions I'm noticing so far. She is so precise on this event. Ranked 2nd on bars coming into day 2, and this helps her case.
Yeah, 2nd best in that opening night. Solid routine for Sky Blakely. Committed to compete for the Florida Gators. Get that number in just a moment. And Shilese Jones will be coming up next on vault. These moments, are you visualizing what you're about to do?
You are. You're taking a big deep breath. It's called mental choreography. You usually say the same things to yourself before you go for a competition. Sometimes it's a correction, and oftentimes it's you got this, you've been training. Doing a Yurchenko double full. She really just floats off the table. That's what makes her unique. It's not as difficult as Simone Biles or Jocelyn Robertson, but it's so clean, which helps her score.
Speaking of the score, we'll get that in a moment for Shilese Jones in 2nd place. Gained a little, about a 1/10 of a point on Simone Biles in that last rotation. See what the numbers are when we return. Back to check out the numbers for Shilese Jones on vault. 14.4, even better than she did on night 1. Sky Blakely on bars, also 14.4. Some good numbers there.
Yeah, 14.4 is exactly what she scored night 1, so showing consistency.
All right, over the floor exercise. Always nice when you get a graphic that says Tokyo Olympic gold medalist on floor. Here is the Olympic champ in that event, Jade Carey.
They're going to want to check out this first pass. There is so much difficulty in this routine, but starting strong here. Double out, full out. There's no deduction for that mat on the floor there. It's just an extra safety precaution. Landing. She's an athlete that told us, I know the tumbling, that's easy for me. I'm focused on artistry, getting better at my feet positions, the eye contact, and she said college has actually helped her with that. Ending with that out of bounds, 1/10 deduction there.
A star now at Oregon State, and her dad, Brian, we got so used to seeing those two together in Tokyo. As soon as she would finish up, there he is. He's now an assistant coach as well in Corvallis.
I wonder if they're hoping everyone on the team, Oregon State team, can tumble like Jade Carey this year. But check it out. It is so incredible. Full twisting, double layout. Her hip position open right until she hits the ground. Good way to start the routine.
Good way to come back from night one, too. We mentioned the struggles she had on night one. She was solid in her opening rotation here. Now a little bit more than midway through. She's keeping it going.
Something that I really love about Jade is her demeanor. I think that's actually her secret weapon. When she makes a mistake or there's a little blooper she wasn't expecting, she does a really nice job moving on from it quickly, and I think that's what we're seeing here in tonight's competition.
And so she waits for the numbers there after that floor routine. How about Jocelyn Robertson, the 17-year-old from Texarkana, Texas, now training with Simone Biles in Spring, Texas. And check this out. In second grade, she did a school presentation on, Simone Biles. And now she trains with her, competing against her recently in the Chicago area at the Core Hydration Classic. Was on the podium with her in third place as Simone won there.
How cool. Not only do you get to train with her, but you're studying her every move, her work ethic. Very cool.
Short time ago on balance beam.
Huge standing tuck pull. What's impressive to me is she lands with that back heel off the beam. Not many gymnasts do that. And you don't get extra points for that.
Yeah.
Side aerial, layout, layout. I want to see her finish these combinations. You know, John has been talking about the world selection, and this is an athlete that knows her best events are vault and floor, but when we spoke to her, she said the coach's strategy is to be a component on this event right here. She knows that she needs to be as clean as possible for her all-around score. Finishing handspring, handspring, double pike. It was a good routine. She got her connections. I would just like to see her have a little bit more solid landings on this routine. That's going to improve the execution score.
13-2. She won this event as a junior back in 2021 at the national championships, but now on the senior elite level, training with the best in the sport. How about Jade Carey for floor exercise? Followed up that Olympic gold medal with a third place finish on floor at the World Championships. 13-1 lower than you expected?
Yeah, it is a little bit lower. We saw she had an out of bounds, and it's a few tenths lower on the execution and the difficulty there, so she got dinged a bit.
All right, so we roll on here. Rotation 3, and wait for Simone Biles. She will be on balance beam in this next rotation here. Third of 4 on the night. Back with a look at Tiana Suminasekara, the 15-year-old from Pleasanton, California. A moment ago, she was up on balance beam, and you have certain things that you think are really keys to beat.
Yeah, when you're watching this event, I mean, it's so amazing that it probably all looks really difficult, but here's a key for you. Connected skills, that's gonna help the difficulty score. Arm placements throughout the routine and controlled landings on every single skill. I'll point it out for you, Terry.
I'm watching.
This is Tiana's best event. She was sitting in 3rd place on beam after night 1. And this is where she could really contribute for Team USA on the international field. Starting difficult, handspring, lay out 2 feet. Good connected skills like we saw we wanted to see there. Switch leap into a split half, and you see the problem there was her arm placement. She didn't quite get her right arm all the way out to the side, resulted in a wobble.
That was key number 2, right?
Yep, that was key number 2. She gave, unfortunately, another example for you there. She has a really calming effect on this event. Doesn't look nervous. Back handspring, finishing double pike. Great job and showing a controlled landing again there.
Contributed already internationally for the U.S. Went to the Pan American Championships and had 4 medals, 3 of them gold, including the all-around at 2023. 13.3, the number for Tiana Suminasekara.
She finished night 1 in 11th place in the all-around, and after 2 events, she was already in 7th place, so this should help her in the all-around standings as well.
All right, getting set in a bit for Simone Biles, who will be on balance beam next. 3rd of 4 events for Simone here tonight in San Jose at the National Championships. Again, just to remind you, going for her 8th U.S. all-around title, which would be a record. No man or woman has won 8 U.S. all-around titles.
I mean, she's used to breaking records. I'd love to ask her which one is the most special for you, because there's a laundry list of them.
And here she goes.
Dynamic connections to start this routine off. And similar to how we saw her do bars, it's the same on beam. She has a quicker rhythm, you're going to notice. Nice job. Had a little mistake on that night 1, but no problems tonight. All the cameramen standing there on the side, and that really adds to your mental toughness effect there. She even showed a camera in her dance. You can't train with cameras in the gym, so this is good practice. Huge full in dismount. It doesn't matter. On podium, training that many months, people in the audience, the camera clicking sounds, she is so tough.
Away from competition for nearly 2 years, and she told her coaches, I think I'm in better shape now than I was in 2021, mentally and physically, both.
And we're seeing that. She's really being bold and loud about how she's taking care of herself outside of the gym, and you're really seeing the positive effects here. Her coaches say that she's competing and training much more calm and serene than she did prior.
So Landy taping the ankle, we mentioned that early on. Perhaps the reason that she changed her vault. On the landing, night one, Yurchenko double pike, because no other woman in the world does, so did a different one tonight, but tape back on.
And it doesn't look like it's affecting her on any of the other events, so chances are is they're being extra cautious, and of course you would, because it's Simone Biles. Only 4 inches wide.
I know, that always gets me.
3 times around. And look, the only thing on the beam are her toes and the ball of her foot. That's a tough move. Handspring, layout, triple series is what we call it. She does a nice job getting her chest up even though her front heel was off the beam. Finishes tuck pull in. She has a more difficult vault that she's competed before, but I guess quote unquote playing it safe to her with just a difficult pull in. It's going to be a big number for Simone Biles.
Does she ever leave you not shaking your head in amazement?
Terry, I'm struggling to come up with words to describe just how amazing she is that are different and incredible and really just describe her effect on the gymnastics world and sports in general.
Get that number in a moment. Right now we send it back over to John.
Yeah, there's a lot going on all these events, but one thing the judges look for on balance beam are the split leaps. Do they reach 180? Sam, I want your opinion. Right here from Tiana, this looks pretty darn good. And the thing that gets me is she's got to do it in front of all these eyeballs. It's not hard enough to get on a 4-inch wide balance beam like you said, Sam. How do you guys do it in front of all those critical eyes?
It's really tough because your peripheral vision sees the judges, they see the camera, but it's really important to stay focused and keep your eyesight at the end of the beam.
Those early days, though, when you first try a skill on beam, is that just terrifying?
Well, the natural tendency on balance beam is to look at the ground, right? But if you look at the ground, you will go there. That's a saying in gymnastics. Wherever you look, you will go.
Yeah.
Which is why it's important to spot the end of the beam because you want to stay on the beam.
So one more event for Simone Biles. It will be floor exercise, which is always a treat. There are the numbers, 14.85. Certainly not going to hurt that top position in the standings. All right, Jordan Childs will be up on balance beam next. So she fell out of the top 5 overall after that uneven bars effort.
And this is going to be a big test for her. We saw her have a mistake on bars, and she actually had a mistake on this event, night 1 as well.
Big part of that effort, the team silver in Tokyo, stepping in for Simone on certain events.
Triple series, handspring layout. She struggled on that on the 30-second touch. And you can just see frustration all over her face.
30-second touch, that warm-up prior to the second part of this rotation, that group.
You can just see she's a little bit rattled. It is so tough to have a fall on this event and pick up the rest of the routine because it's still in your mind. You're so angry, and sometimes athletes like to work beam when they're angry, but most of the time you want to stay in the moment. athlete like Jordan Childs, who is used to being very consistent, very competitive. She does better when she's having fun, and you can just see it all over her face. She is annoyed and frustrated right now.
One thing to keep in perspective here, though, she's got to stay in the top 10. She'll go to the World Selection Camp. She'll be on the national team. I actually talked to Dan Baker with USA Gymnastics right before this competition. I brought up Jordan. I said, what do you think of Jordan? He goes, man, did you see the difference between Classics and U.S. Championships? And certainly not having a great night tonight. But he said, man, I can't wait to see the progress she makes as she gets to the selection camp. So she's still in this mix, certainly.
She's earned that at this point in her career.
Yeah, you know, I just watched this slow-mo triple series, and to be honest, it was pretty square. Her back heel fell off, but that's what I call a mental mistake. When you are straight down the center of the beam and you still unfortunately have a wobble or have a fall, shows that it's mental. This is Dan Baker. He's the developmental lead and one of 3 people that make up the high performance team. Of course, my teammates in the 2008 Olympics, Chelsea Memel is the technical lead and Alicia Sacramone is the strategy lead. So those 3 combined are the watchful eye, and 3 individuals that these athletes are trying to impress here tonight.
Which is new this time around. In this Olympic quad, if you will. Different than the last one in the lead up to Tokyo. And of course, in the Olympics now, the teams are going to be made up of 5 gymnasts, not 4, which that was a move to 4, which not many like, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's so many athletes here that could contend for one of those spots, so the more the merrier, honestly. But I would not want to be them because this competition is fierce.
All right, so one more event left for Simone Biles, Suni Lee, as well as we continue here at the National Championships in San Jose. Back with the number for Jordan Childs on balance being 12-1, so disappointing, obviously.
Yeah, she is going to want to get back in the gym, increase those numbers so she can have a little bit more confidence in the competition.
Normally a big smile on her face during competitions, and she and Simone both celebrating after every routine, but the last couple, not much to celebrate about for Jordan. Moment ago, Calif Lincoln, 5th place after the 2nd rotation, having a big championship. She's only 17 years old, her first season as a senior elite gymnast.
Now, this is not her best event. She's going to want to get on, make her routine, and get off. Oh. Looks like she was too far away from the bar to catch that Tkachev release move. Now, for those watching, it's a little bit more shocking than it is painful. Even though it looks like it could hurt to fall off the bar, you're mostly frustrated knowing you have to chalk back up and remount the bar. Nice handstand position as she tries it again, really far away from the bar, which is why we saw that mistake and she bent her knees. She's really fighting through this bar routine. Finishing double back, so she broke her rhythm in the middle of that bar routine, which makes it so tough. And it's really exhausting to have to work that hard when you break the rhythm there.
Wow, 9-9 for Calif Lincoln. Her coach, Evgeny Marchenko, also coached the Olympic all-around champ, Carly Patterson, back in 2004. All right, take you over to vault right now. Lexi Zeiss, the 17-year-old from Omaha, Nebraska. Boy, it's been a challenge for her, only competing in vault and bars this week. This was a moment ago because of a very recent injury.
She had ankle surgery 10 days ago. It was just a scope. She didn't know if she was going to compete, but she stuck her vault night 1.
And did it again.
That is so impressive. She actually told me before the meet she was more nervous coming into today because she did so well night 1. Great job from Lexi Zeiss.
got her season off to a strong start. Won the all-around at an event called the Winter Cup, which has a strong field, and now excellent in vault here. Just a couple of events because of the injury for her. So, move things around. Gymnasts move around. They go to rotation 4. Suni Lee, will see her coming up in this last rotation here at the National Championships. Simone 2. Like to remind you, Big Ten football is coming to NBC and Peacock. To kick things off, West Virginia takes on Penn State. The premiere of Big Ten Saturday night. Here comes Saturday night. Stay away from that place. Don't want to go there. Alcatraz. Back here in San Jose. Current standing, Simone Biles on top. 103.05. Charlize Jones, Leanne Wong, Blakely, and Childs, the top 5. Little projection for you with one event left. So think about this last rotation. If Simone Biles does what she did on floor night 1, 14.8, that's her number over to the right, 117.85. Charlize Jones on uneven bars, 14.9 night 1. So the projection on the right down to Jordan Childs, who will finish up on floor 107, an even 107.
Yeah, it's going to be 8 national championships for Simone Biles. All she has to do is stay upright. But I think really, you know, a lot of talk about Simone Biles, but I tell you, she's 1A. The story 1B is Charlize Jones, who hasn't competed since the last World Championships. She's kind of taken her own path, dealing with her injuries, talking to her coaches. They're letting her take the lead, and I tell you what, her plan is working. She is unbelievable, even better than night 1 here in night 2. And the way she looks, she is a must-have on that World Championship team for Team USA.
And John, she finishes up on uneven bars. She was better than anybody, 14.9 on the opening night.
Well, when I talked to her, she said, I feel like bars is my ticket, which in hindsight is a great event to end on, but we can't discount how much more pressure that puts on her here in the last event of the competition.
So the final rotation just about set to get underway, and over on floor, it'll be Jocelyn Robertson, a young teenager from Texas, and in 10th place going into this final rotation. And 2015, she was 9 years old. Someone posted this video, all right, on social media, and then the reaction, the post from Simone Biles.
This is incredible that Simone wanted to meet her. Now they're training partners together. How cool for Jocelyn.
Guys, that's standing full. She's 9 years old. I have an 8 and a 10-year-old, and it's an accomplishment to walk down the stairs without falling, let alone do a standing full. Are you kidding me right there? Unbelievable.
And now on the national stage.
You're going to see big skills from Jocelyn starting right here. Double twisting, double layout, huge. Little stumble there, but did not go out of bounds. Had 2 out of bounds on night 1, so looking for an improvement there. Terry, I know it's tough for you, but you're going to want to clap along to this routine because everybody else in the arena is.
Why can I not? Okay, then.
She's got the difficulty, she's got the showmanship, and that's really going to be reflected in her score.
You know, the subplot right here, though, again, Jocelyn Robertson and Jade Carey. Team USA has always seemed to have a tumbler and vaulter on a world team or an Olympic team. It's always been Jade, but Jocelyn can fit that role. Neither one of them, to me, Sam, I'd like your opinion, really jumped off the mat, no pun intended. It'll be interesting to see how they flush out as they go to selection camp.
Yeah, the consistency is really important, especially with that inner gym competition, let's say.
Just finished her junior year of high school, committed to Arkansas, maybe a trip to Paris in between. We'll see. So, teammate of Simone Biles. She's still to come on floor. We saw her earlier on balance beam, and now here on vault, the Olympic all-around champ, Suni Lee. Just 2 events of the 4 because of the illness.
She's just doing a Yurchenko full. It's a lower D score, so we can't expect to see a really high vault score for Suni because of that. But she has more difficulty. They just don't want to throw it in the competition just yet.
Lower difficulty score, you know, because of that kidney illness. A few weeks ago when we saw her compete in the Chicago area, there was so much doubt that she could even get through that.
Yeah, it's been a really tough comeback, but what's been solid for her is her technique. You can see even though she doesn't have the difficulty right there, her hips are stretched, her arms are in the right position, just gearing up for that added difficulty on vault.
Get that number in a moment. The number 4, Jocelyn Robertson for floor, 13.6.
And that's 3/10 better than night 1, so she is on the right path.
And overall on the right path too, as a gymnast.
She is really making a name for herself. She did well at classics, and then of course carrying it over to championships, just giving herself more stock when the selection committee is taking a look at these names.
And you know, wouldn't you pick the brain of your teammates, Simone Biles, Jordan Childs, everybody who trains together on a daily basis. What do I need to work on? What do I concentrate on here? What's it like to go into a world championship or the Olympics? How do I deal with that?
I think it's harder to have a bad day too. You look around and someone on your team has to be pushing you every single day.
Charlize Jones been great throughout the championships earlier on uneven bars.
She was ranked first on this event, coming in tonight too with a 14.9. Nice precision on her pirouette twists. Legs glued together. Huge release moves. Wow. This is looking beautiful. There's so many things to think about, but she catches the bar at a great distance away from it to help her rhythm. Finishing double front.
All right. 15, even better than night 1 where she was 14.9, Sam.
That is showing consistency. It's showing hard work, big difficulty, everything you want.
Been in second right behind Simone Biles throughout. Suni Lee, 13.4, the number for vault. And now the last event of the championships for Simone Biles. Solidly in first place, trying to wrap up her 8th all-around title.
She already is ranked first on this event coming into night 2. But if there is one critique, she had 1 out of bounds. So that's a 10th she could gain back today.
you just don't want it to end. They don't want it to end. You just want the routine to keep going.
It's a standing ovation. It's never happened in gymnastics, but I wonder if there could be an encore here. I don't know if Simone would agree to that, but pretty exciting for everybody here.
Yeah, you said it. You beat me to it, Sam. I've been at a lot of these U.S. championships. I'm a little older than you. Never have I seen a crowd stand up for an athlete like they just did after that performance. That was incredible.
Immediately in unison. And you look around at some of the signs, and you always get the...
I know. No, seriously.
Try to listen in, can't quite pick up the conversation. You always get the "Let's go, Simone" signs, but now you're getting the "Thank you for everything, Simone," all around the arena.
The respect and the appreciation. She talked a lot about that after Classics, just how much that meant to her. And this routine was better, in my opinion, starting off with that really difficult skill. But her showmanship here, she looked a little bit more comfortable than day one. She looked like she was having more fun. And of course, check out this pass, front layout, full into an extremely difficult double-double. But check out this landing, bam! Perfect. And then here's another highlight for me, is just how precise these landings are for her. Her last pass, double layout, floats down to a stuck position.
She transcends the sport. 15-4, the numbers, I mean, they're off the charts. She's going to win another U.S. all-around title. But the people here, and there are more than 10,000 people in this arena. And yes, you have the gymnastics fans who 20 years from now are going to be talking about that night in San Jose when they watch Simone Biles win the national championship. But you also have other sports fans who may not even be gymnastics fans who are here just to have a chance to watch the greatest.
Yeah, I think anybody that's a sports fan can recognize and appreciate what she's doing here. Coming back so strong. I mean, floor alone, she was in first place after night one with a 14.8. Now it's much higher than that.
And to follow that up, her good friend Jordan Childs.
Looks like those sticks were contagious, and she wants a big number here. This is such a fun event for her. Her performance quality, how she engages the crowd, just check it out. Saving herself, pro move, did not drop her heel, so she saved herself a 1/10 out of bounds. Another good clean landing. It's gonna be a great way for Jordan to finish up, and a good number on the floor for her.
Quite a bit of determination and maybe a little anger in that floor exercise routine after the last couple of events.
That's how you finish it. Good job. Good job.
Should be a solid number.
Her tumbling looks solid. It's tough to get your endurance back, especially on this event, but that looks strong to me, finishing double pike. Great controlled landing.
Teammates, friends. Right there along the side with her. Throughout the entire routine too, Sam.
Yeah, it's great to see it. You know, they train together. Simone can tell she's not having her best day, so giving her a little lift, of course, is helpful for Jordan too.
Finish the right way here with floor exercise, though. That experience, wherever she ends up in the standings here, certainly what she's done in this, to this point of her career, will loom large in terms of that world championship team.
We already know she's an incredible athlete, competes under pressure. She has the experience, so hopefully she can look back on this and use that as a tool for motivation to get back in the gym and to really push herself in training.
22-year-old from Vancouver, Washington. Families here. Mom and dad. She was named after Michael Jordan. Has a big collection of Jordan sneakers at home. So we wait on the numbers here. John, what do you have?
Yeah, one thing about Jordan Childs, Sam, especially you and I have learned watching her through the collegiate season, she genuinely has fun out there. A lot of gymnast athletes say, you know, I just want to have fun, but Jordan Childs, she lives it. She's dancing, she's relaxed. A lot of those moves are mine. I think she took them, but I'll let her have them. No, she's just having a great time out there, and you love to see it, especially in the sport of gymnastics. I don't know about you, Sam, but I was so focused and so like in my little bubble. Hard to imagine doing that during a meet, but she makes it work, and I love it.
Great shot of Simone, too. He's like, yeah, I'm used to this. Yeah, she does it all the time. Yeah.
It's such a big sister, little sister dynamic there. But this type of dance moves and personality is usually acceptable in the college scene, but hasn't quite transitioned to the elite world. It's good to see we're seeing some of that for Jordan here.
Saw a lot of that on night one. 13.85, the number for Jordan Childs on floor as we continue from San Jose. Been a really good championship for Leanne Wong in third place going into this final rotation. She'll finish up on uneven bars. Sam, what are we looking for?
Well, there's a few things on the uneven bars we keep going back to, and it's the vertical handstand positions. You want to see those crisp lines, amplitude on release moves. How high are they going? Good distance away from the bar. And of course, the more you connect those skills, the higher the difficulty score will be.
We have to keep connecting those skills, don't we?
We have to keep connecting. Let's see what Leanne does here. There's a crisp line. And nice distance away from the bar on her Jaeger release move. Really difficult release move to the low bar. We're seeing lots of connections, which does help her D score. That's the difficulty score. And what a complete performance by Leanne Wong this whole weekend, really.
Your coach react right away, too. Excellent on bars.
Doing the gator chomp there. You might know a thing or two about that, Terry.
Competes for the University of Florida. So many of these gymnasts now competing collegiately, coming back to the elite level. All right, so we're watching bars here. Break it down a little bit, John.
Yeah, Sam, you set me up for this perfectly. You mentioned amplitude. The judges look at how high the release moves are above the bar. Look no further than the best one of the night, Shilese Jones. Look at the height right there, over a meter above the bar. and you got to be almost in the nosebleeds up there to be eye to eye with Shilese Jones. I mean, that is textbook, no deduction. They can take up to 3/10. If your hips are closer to the bar right there, which some athletes are, even though it looks perfect, you're going to lose 3/10 of a point.
At the height of that, to get back from that position to where you actually catch the bar, that's amazing.
And that's important too. Sam mentioned it on the Jaeger. You have to be rotated back towards the bar. If you're sitting backwards, your shoulders are back, that's another chance for a deduction.
Yeah, and of course you want a good amount of distance away from the bar to continue your swing, to continue the rhythm, and these athletes make it look too easy.
In third going into that rotation, but about a little less than 2.5 points behind Shilese Jones before the fourth rotation. Tough to make that up. An even 14 on bars for Leanne Wong.
You know, a lot of people question, can athletes go from the NCAA world back into the college world? And Leanne is the perfect example of showing everyone, yes, you can. Very beautifully, very seamlessly. I am impressed. This is trailblazing for the gymnastics world.
So Jade Carey finishing up the championships on vault, the 7-time world medalist. And a better day 2 than the opening night.
One of her best events. Great job. Cleanest landing that she could do. Couldn't have done that vault better.
Remember in Tokyo, she had that misstep on the run up to her vault, took her out of contention, came back and won the gold medal on floor. 14.55 for the 23-year-old from Phoenix and a star at Oregon State. As we continue here, rotation 4 at the national championships. Back on balance beam, Kayla DiCello, the 19-year-old from Maryland, in 6th place.
Nice wolf turn. She had some problems on this on night 1. I ran into her coach as we were leaving the building, and she's like, man, we want to put it together on night 2. This is a great chance for that. Good triple series. She wobbled a little bit, but no major deductions. You see her arms are moving a little bit too much. You kind of want the arms to stay put. Every single skill, put them in the right place to help you out. You can imagine your natural tendency when you're falling is to move your arms, but actually the opposite is true. You want to quiet your arms, is what we say, to help you stay balanced. Finishing double pike.
So the world all-around bronze medalist from 2021. We'll wait for the numbers now. And while she does, we take a look at the Prevagen memorable moment. Take you back to 2007. The last time the national championships were here in San Jose. Smile on Sam's face here. Just like today, that championship key step in the path to the Olympics. Names like Sam Pechik, Nastia Lukin, Shawn Johnson, who was the national champion that year. And those three went on to be part of the silver medal winning team at the 2008 Olympics. Nastia and Shawn also went 1-2 in the all-around there. The Prevagen memorable moment. And earlier today here inside the SAP Center, they were honored. Shawn Johnson there, part of that team. So it was cool. Nastia waving to the crowd too, and you guys were together once again. 15 years. Does it seem like more than that, or does it seem like yesterday?
I was talking to Alicia right next to me. We're laughing because it feels like a different life, a movie that we've watched a million times but weren't necessarily in. I mean, it was such a cool experience, and of course we're good friends here today.
Same stories that you had back then you reflect on now too?
Yeah, lots of inside jokes, lots of good, lots of bad, but we always laughed through it and we remained friends, and that's what's most special to me.
You got a great cheer from the crowd too. I was listening.
Thank
individually
you.
And as a team. So congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Very cool. And to be back at the national championships once again. As a commentator this time around, waiting on that number for Kayla DiCello.
But you know, you think back of the pressured moments that I've competed in, and I put myself in the mind of someone like Kayla DiCello, and it is really tough. I mean, they're physically tough skills, but really it's tough mentally to handle the pressure.
12.75. Fourth place for Sky Blakely after 3 rotations up on beam. Second best of everyone on night 1 here. Important routine.
It is important. She has the opportunity to score big and really make a splash for the selection committee.
Just about 0.6 of a point out of third going into this rotation.
But check out this big, huge skill right here. Tuck full, lands with her chest completely upright. That's tough to do. The handspring front tuck, really unique. No one else in this competition does that. Really good speed on the connections, leaving no question marks for the judges. She's doing a nice job moving through this routine, just the dismount now. Great save there.
A step, but a save. So the night is complete here. And once again, Simone Biles has gone where no one's ever gone before. An 8-time U.S. all-around champ. We'll hear from her as we continue. In the end, it was never in doubt. Simone Biles dominant on night 1, and it continues here throughout day 2 in San Jose. Now an 8-time U.S. all-around champion. Standing by with John.
Simone, a record 8 national championships in the all-around. Given everything that you've been through the last couple years, how special is this one?
I think it feels really special, especially since WCC, we have 6 athletes here. So I think that's super exciting as well. I'm at 8. I've been doing it for so long. I feel like I don't think about numbers. I think about my performance. And I think overall I hit 8 for 8. It's 8. I guess it's a lucky number this year.
So last time I talked to you, I asked what drives you. And you said you have some personal goals. Can you share those with us?
I like to keep them personal just so that I know what I'm aiming for. I think it's better that way. I'm trying to move a little bit differently this year than I have in the past, so I think it's working so far, so I'm going to keep it a little bit secretive.
You don't want to tell us if Paris is one of those personal goals?
Not yet.
All right, I'll let you off the hook. That standing ovation, I've been at a lot of these championships. I've rarely ever seen as special a moment as that. What was that like for you?
It's really amazing. Everybody in here believes in me, and my teammates believe in me, my coaches, my family, everyone. So I just need to start believing in myself a little bit more, but it feels amazing, and I love the fans. I love the crowd. It was really special.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on number 8. Back to you guys.
John, thanks. It was cool to be here for that. Right away, just standing in unison, this crowd of over 10,000 as Simone finished up on floor. We'll finish up, wrap things up in a moment. The 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships are brought to you by Core Hydration. Core Hydration believes that wellness is whatever works for you. Find your balance, find your core. By Prevagen. By Angie. Visit Angie.com to connect with skilled professionals for all your home projects. And by Xfinity. the Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now. Images through the years, and add 2023 to that. Simone Biles with her 8th title. Charlize Jones in 2nd. Leanne Wong 3rd. Sky Blakely, Jordan Childs rounding out the top 5 here at Nationals. Check out the powerful performance presented by the Xfinity 10G network. The Xfinity 10G network gives you a powerful connection today for a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The next generation 10G network only from Xfinity, Sam.
Well, this was pretty incredible here. Simone Biles doing a chung vault to get things going. And of course, her bars. It was a complete performance tonight. The things that she struggled on just a bit on night 1, we didn't see that on night 2. She had a calmness about her, and it looked like she was having more fun.
Dominant performance, there's no doubt about it. Both nights here in San Jose. If there were any question marks, there shouldn't have been. Certainly aren't now.
This floor routine was a highlight for me. Check out these landings. Not only is the difficulty top notch, but she nails these landings.
So update the bio. Her 8th U.S. all-around title, now at the age of 26, and as great as ever. Some kind of week here in San Jose. Enjoyed it too. Had a great time with you.
It was fun. Thanks for having me, Terry.
So that does it for the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships here in the SAP Center. Coming up next, it's America's Got Talent. And remember, you can watch all the routines at the USA Gymnastics YouTube channel. We'll continue on Peacock with the U.S. Women's National Team announcement. With John Roethlisberger, Sam Petchik, and our entire NBC Sports crew, I'm Terry Gannon saying goodbye from San Jose and the 2023 Xfinity U.S. Gymnastics Championships.